Hello, friends. Welcome all. So, we will be starting the meditation. And after we finish the meditation, there is this wonderful topic which I'm going to share. And it's about the four enemies of man of knowledge. So, it is going to be a very interesting topic and very much informative and very much to implement. So, before that, we will get into the meditation, friends. So, let us all empty our minds as much as possible. For that, we need to take a very comfortable posture wherever we are sitting, by crossing our fingers, crossing our legs, and by gently closing our eyes. All we will do is we just become aware of our breath. Our natural breath that is going through our nose, that is coming out through the nose. Relax your body and calm out your mind. Just follow your regular breath, friends. If you see any thoughts that are coming to your mind, let it come and let it go. Let it not disturb your mind. Let it not disturb the activity which you're doing now. Let it not create a ripple effect. Don't get attached to that thought. Just be friendly to your mind. Be gentle with your mind. And let us silence our mind as much as possible. Just the normal breath. That breath will guide you to empty your mind, to calm your mind. Just become aware of your breath and whatever is happening within you. The moment you become aware of any act, thoughts, the feelings, or the emotions, they just disappear. When you get attached to a feeling or a thought or an emotion, it will multiply. Step by step, bit by bit. Let us drop all the activity of the mind. Let us only be conscious of our breath. Just remember, friends, it is not the thoughts that disturbs us. It's our reaction to it. It is not an external sound that disturbs our meditation, but our reaction to it. Let us be a watcher or an observer with full of awareness. Awareness of your breath, more and more we are with our breath. We stop reacting to our thoughts. We just watch them come. We watch them go. Because we understand that thoughts have no power on us until we give them the power. So just breathe, friends. Flow with your breath. Last few minutes, friends. Bring back your awareness to your physical body and to your surroundings. Let us be grateful to everything that we have in our life. Let us be grateful to our breath, our bodies, our mind. Last 1 minute, friends. Let us be open to receive the information from all the sources that is coming. May it be from the books, may it be from the masters, may it be by the friends. Say to yourself that you're open to receive whichever is aligning with your truth. And now, whenever you're ready, friends, you may place your both palms over your eyes for a few seconds. And slowly remove them, and you may open your eyes. Welcome back, friends. I hope you have a very beautiful journey towards yourself. Each time when we meditate, we are getting closer to ourselves. This is what I've been experiencing from past 10 years. It's really a beautiful feeling when you are with yourself. It's like going to the friend that is inside us. So thank you. Thank you all for being here. And yes, friends, before we go into the topic, if you want to share any of your experiences, you can go ahead and you can unmute yourself and you can share your experience. Or if you're still, yes, Karimaji, please go ahead.
Hi, Madhu. It was lovely meditation
Mm.
and very deep. And I could see a lake, and there were some swan
Mhm.
and and dark uh, I saw like Mahatma Buddha was sitting, and there was a um, crystal which emits blue light,
Wow,
and it is very beautiful scene.
wonderful. Wonderful, Karimaji. Beautiful experience. Just relish it, enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you,
thank you.
thanks.
Thank you for sharing, Karimaji. And friends, I request you all to pen it down, whatever you are experiencing. May it be in the meditation. After you finish the meditation, you pen it down. And also about the dreams. When you get dreams, usually after some time, when we get up, we will forget. So not to forget it, we maintain a dream journal and a vision journal. So it is very important, and you get to know a lot of answers in the coming days why you had seen this vision or why you had this kind of a particular dream. So yeah, so that's a beautiful experience, Karmaji. Once again, thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lakshmi. Yeah. So anybody else, friends? Okay. I want to ask you all a question. Have anybody of you have read this book called The Teachings of Don John by Carlos Castaneda? If you had, then what is it that had attracted you in this book that you had taken from this book? And Carlos Castaneda is Patriji's favorite author, and he has been recommending Carlos books from many years. And it's my first time to read The Teachings of Don John. And to my surprise, few months back, I heard Dr. Newton sharing the same thing about this book. I said, "Wow, then it's the time that I have to read this book." It was not. It was. I couldn't get it in India, so with much effort, I asked my sister to send it from USA, and she did that. And I started reading. I'm going a bit slow because there is so much of information in this book to take in. And lately, I've also heard Patricia speaking about the same concept again, which we are, which I'm going to share from this book, the four enemies of spiritual warrior. Sir said spiritual warrior, but in this book it says like the four enemies of the a man of knowledge. So if somebody is seeking for a knowledge, what are the four enemies that is blocking us to reach to that knowledge? So Don John, the shaman, had explained it in a wonderful way. When I introspected, like I've read many times that part, and each time when I'm reading it, it is giving a new experience to me. Oh my God, yes, I have to work there. So sometimes we don't notice many things. Only when we become aware, we will notice what is happening, and it becomes so much clear to us. So the book's name is The Teachings of Don John. Yes, I will write it in the chat, Karimachi, here, and you can read it. And yes, friends, if you that's a small background of how I got into this book. And if you have any experience with this book, please go ahead and share. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to read it now. So it's very important, friends. I want you all to close your eyes and introspect introspect what I'm reading, each and every word and each and every line is very much valuable. And he's this teacher, the Don John, is very strict teacher. Like he's like he's a strict shaman. And Carlos Castaneda, the author of this book, goes to Don John um, as to know more about shamans and their culture and everything. It's a field work that he started doing it. And that's when Don John says, they meet and they understood that um, Carlos is a student for Don John. So like whatever the shamanic things, though Carlos is not from an Indian, they say the shaman Indian. However, the Don John had accepted him as a student for some incidents that happened in the initial stages of their friendship. So this is one of his teachings, friends, and very wonderful teachings. And please, please be open to it and receive it as much as possible. And it says that when a man starts to learn, he's never clear about his objectives. His purpose is faulty. His intent is vague. He hopes for rewards that will never materialize, for he knows nothing of the hardships of learning. He slowly begins to learn, bit by bit at first, and then in big chunks. And his thoughts soon clash. What he learns is never what he pictured or imagined, and so he begins to be afraid. Learning is never what one expects. Every step of learning is a new task, and the fear the man is experiencing begins to mount mercilessly, unyieldingly. His purpose becomes a battlefield, and thus he has stumbled upon the first of his natural enemies, which is fear, a terrible enemy and difficult to overcome. It remains concealed at every turn of the way, prowling, waiting. And if the man, terrified in its presence, run away, his enemy will have put an end to his quest. So, here, friends, fear can be of different varieties. Fear can be of, I have a fear of darkness, I have fear of speaking to the people. So, that's when we fall prey to that fear, that the enemy, we get defeated. So, we have to know what our fears are, and when we have our fears, how to face them. This is what Don John says. What will happen to the man if he runs away in fear? That's the question Carlos asks. Nothing happens to him except that he will never learn. He will never become a man of knowledge. He will perhaps be a bully or a harmless, scared man. At any rate, he will be a defeated man. His first enemy will have put an end to his cravings. And what can he do to overcome fear? The answer is very simple. He must not run away. Do you have any fears, friends? Like few days back, when I was walking from a supermarket with Ram, and we have farms behind my home, and that's the way we have to go through. And there was so much dark in one side. So we were just discussing. Ram was asking me, "Would you go that way?" Like somewhere I have this fear of darkness. Then when I started reading this book, maybe I have to go face it. I have to just experience it than just resigning. Than just saying I cannot do it. I'm so scared. Then I'm defeated. So the answer is very simple, friends. We should not run away. We must defy his fear, and in spite of it, he must take the next step in learning, and the next and the next. He must be fully afraid, and yet he must not stop. That is the rule. And a moment will come when his first enemy retreats. The man begins to feel sure of himself. His intent becomes stronger. Learning is no longer a terrifying task. When this joyful moment comes, the man can say without hesitation that he has defeated his first natural enemy. So the question goes, does it happen at once, Don John, or little by little? It happens little by little, and yet the fear is vanquished suddenly and fast. But won't the man be afraid again if something new happens to him? See, again, friends, we all have these questions. Once I have overcome this fear, the question goes like, don't we fear for anything? Or the fear, there might be some other fears that come into our life. So for that, Don John explains it in a beautiful way. No, once a man has vanquished fear, he is free from it for the rest of his life because instead of fear, he has acquired clarity, a clarity of mind which erases fear. By then, a man knows his desires. He knows how to satisfy those desires. He can anticipate the new steps of learning, and a sharp clarity surrounds everything. The man feels that nothing is concealed, and thus he has encountered his second enemy, which is clarity. Now, when I read this, friends, for the first time, I had this, what? Clarity is an enemy. How can that be possible? We always ask that we have to be clear on everything. So why this clarity is an enemy for a man who is seeking for a knowledge? So the clarity of mind, which is so hard to obtain, dispels fear, but also blinds. It forces the man never to doubt himself. It gives him the assurance he can do anything he pleases, for he sees clearly into everything. And he's courageous because he's clear. And he stops at nothing because he's clear. But all that is a mistake. It is like something incomplete. If the man yields to this make believe power, he has succumbed to his second enemy and will fumble with learning. He will rush when he should be patient, or he will be patient when he should rush. He will fumble with learning until he winds up incapable of learning anything more. So, what becomes of a man who is defeated in that way, Don John? Does he die as a result? No, he doesn't die. His second enemy has just stopped him cold from trying to become a man of knowledge. Instead, the man may turn in a buoyant warrior or a clown. When you have so much clarity, you can either become a warrior or you will become a clown because when you have to do things, you will not do things. That's how you become a clown. Or when you overdo things, you become a warrior. So yet the clarity for which he has paid so dearly will never change to darkness and fear again. He will be clear as long as he lives, but he will no longer learn or yearn for anything. But what does he have to do to avoid being defeated? Beautiful answer, friends. He must do what he did with fear. He must defy his clarity and use it only to see and wait patiently and measure carefully before taking new steps. He must think, above all, that his clarity is almost a mistake. And a moment will come when he will understand that his clarity was only a point before his eyes, and thus he will have overcome his second enemy and will arrive at a position where nothing can harm him anymore. This will not be a mistake. It will not be only a point before his eyes, it will be a true power. He will know at this point that the power he has been pursuing for so long is finally his. He can do with it whatever he pleases. His wish is the rule. He sees all that is around him, but he has also come across his third enemy. Now, the third enemy is power, friends. Power is the strongest of all enemies, and naturally, the easiest thing to do is to give in. After all, the man is truly invincible. He commands. He begins by taking calculated risks and ends in making rules because he is a master. Imagine, friends, when we have power in our hands. where are we working from? Are we working from ego? A real powerful man is a man who really puts others in the front. He will not show his power. He will he will work together with others. Like suppose you are a boss, you know everything. You give an opportunity for your colleagues to share their views. You will not show your authority. You will not show your power over there. That you are the boss and you are on command and you give the rules to them. That is a misuse of power. So power is the strongest of all enemies. A man at this stage hardly notices this third enemy closing in on him, and suddenly, without knowing, he will certainly have lost the battle. His enemy will have turned him into a cruel, capricious man. Now, will he lose his power? No, he will never lose his clarity or his power. What then will distinguish him from a man of knowledge? That's the question. A man who is defeated by power dies without really knowing how to handle it. You have a power in your hands, friends, and you don't know how to use it. Imagine. So, this is what Don John is telling. Power is only a burden upon his fate. Such a man has no command over himself and cannot tell when or how to use his power. Is the defeat by any of these enemies a final defeat? A question asked by Carlos. Of course, it is final. Once one of these enemies overpowers a man, there is nothing he can do. Is it possible, for instance, that the man who is defeated by power may see his error and mend his ways? No. Once a man gives in, he is through. But what if he is temporarily blinded by power and then refuses it? That means his battle is still on. That means he's still trying to become a man of knowledge. A man is defeated only when he no longer tries and abandons himself. I want to repeat this again, friends. A man is defeated only when he no longer tries and abandons himself. But then, Don John, it is possible that a man may abandon himself to fears for years, but finally conquer it? No, that is not true. If he gives in to fear, he will never conquer it because he will shy away from learning and never try again. But if he tries to learn for years in the midst of his fear, he will eventually conquer it because he will never have really abandoned himself to it. Now, how can he defeat his third enemy, Danjon? He has to defy it deliberately. He has to come to realize the power he has seemingly conquered is in reality never his. So sometimes, friends, we always think that um, this ego, the spiritual ego or whatever you say, that comes up. Like as I told you many a times, my experience that I play singing bowls and I think I'm a master of it. So um, this is where the real masters comes in and he shows you, hey, is this ego which is coming up, calm it down, that was the power, like I was saying that I can play wonderful singing bowls and anybody in this room. So I didn't know how to use my power. That's where Patriji came and he showed, just calm it down. Don't give power to that power which you have in your head. So it's very important, friends, to recognize it and to work on it, not to abandon it. Just when you see that it is coming, just don't abandon it. If you know that there is a fear in front of you, if you're fearing anything, don't abandon it. Just stay with it and see to it. And then you see that the fear is disappearing. So he has to defy it, even the third enemy, which is the power. He has to come to realize the power he has seemingly conquered is in reality never his. So we always think that I'm the master, I'm doing everything, I'm doing these great things. Wow, I'm so great. We are just misusing the power. We think that we own that. But I always think, friends, because whenever we do meditation sessions, it just flows. You're just used as a medium. It is never ours. Just we are just used as a vessel so that the information can be poured. May it be power or anything. It is never ours. When we think that it is ours, then the beauty is gone. You fall into a trap. So he must keep himself in line at all times, handling carefully and faithfully at all that he has learned. If he see, if he can see that clarity and power without his control over himself are worse than mistakes, he will reach a point where everything is held in check. He will know then when and how to use his power, and thus he will have defeated his third enemy. The man will be by then at the end of his journey. This is very interesting, friends. And almost without warning, he will come upon the last of his enemies, which is old age. This enemy is the cruelest of all, the one he won't be able to defeat completely, but only fight away. This is the time when a man has no more of fears, no more impatient clarity of mind, a time when all his powers is in check, but also the time when he has an unyielding desire to rest. If he gives in totally to his desire to lie down and forget, if he soothes himself in tiredness, he will have lost his last round, and his enemy will cut him down into a feeble old creature. His desire to retreat will overrule all his clarity, his power, and his knowledge. But if the man's loss of his tiredness and lives his faith through, he can then be called a man of knowledge. If only for the brief moment when he succeeds in fighting off his last invincible enemy, that moment of clarity, power, and knowledge is enough. So, many of you have known this book, Ikigai, and I'm sure in the coming days, our wonderful friend Meena will be giving a talk on that book. And in that book, in this place called in Okinawa in Japan. So there are old people, like they're all living there happily, and they're very old, and they call themselves as young. And the works they do there, friends, is they never says that they never retire over there. They keep on doing something or the other thing. They always keep themselves busy, so they never, I think they have, defeated the enemy of old age. So many of us have fear of old age. Like what will I do when I get old? All these things. So we have to really work on these enemies, these four enemies. The first enemy is the fear, the second enemy is the clarity. Once we have overcome the fear, we get clarity, and with that clarity we think that we attained power. And when we attain power, we should not misuse it. We should know how to use it and when to use it. And at the end, we have to understand how to live in the old age. We have to plan it from now. I think from now we should keep ourselves busy. And being young also, we fall into this trap of tiredness. I mean, many a times, we really want to just lie down. So in that way we are falling at, you know into we're falling prey for these enemies. So we should be really careful on what we are doing, and what how we are doing, and how much we are doing. It's very, very much important, friends. And that's when we win over all these enemies, we become a true spiritual warrior or a man of a knowledge. So Thanks to Patriji, all these qualities, friends, all these qualities of like which I have seen the fearlessness in Patriji. I have seen a wonderful clarity, and that clarity has no command on somebody else. He has a beautiful clarity on everything, and he has power, but he knows when to use it. And imagine, he's old. I mean, like in our terms, he's old, but he never stays at one place. He keeps on doing, he keeps himself busy. Recently I've heard him saying that in 24 hours, we have got 24 hours. You have to be accountable for each and every second of those 24 hours. That means we should never waste it. We should keep on doing something. If you don't have anything to do, keep meditating. If you think that you are free, you have time, then keep meditating. If you say that you have some time, keep reading. If you have some time, spread meditation, or share about your experiences to your friends or family or anybody. But never stay calm. Never sit at one place, just not doing anything. Don't waste, because once it's gone forever. It will not come back. So why not doing in this lifetime only, in achieving all these masters who are sharing so many things. If like if these teachings have benefited them, why not us? Why not trying it an attempt, and why not facing all these things? Why we have to postpone it to the next lives to come? So this is what I would like to share, friends, and thank you all for patiently listening. First of all, I thought I will give my talk over this. I had prepared few notes, but then I said coming it directly, the words and the lines from Don John makes a lot of sense. So I thought of reading that and sharing few lines of my stories and my experiences. Yeah. So if you have anything to share, friends, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, Madhu.
Yes, hi Meena.
It's a beautiful, beautiful message. If you could post that book, I want to get that book as well. It's
Yes,
very good
please.
message. And also, I don't know, it's synchronicity or whatever you call. Morning, I was contemplating on few things that whatever you shared, like time shouldn't be wasted. So I was looking at, like in my house, they're always watching TV or something. They'll be wasting time, right? I was thinking, uh, because time, we can't get that time back, right?
Mhm.
Anything you can gain back, like
Yeah.
if you waste money, power, whatever it is, but time is that one thing which we couldn't turn back. I was just thinking, like, why could some people waste a lot of time sitting and pondering, and till midnight wasting some time? Why is it happening? Why can't they realize that that time is more important?
Mm,
Just now you explained how we should use our time and all.
yeah.
It's a very, very good message. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Meena. Thank you. And we are very much looking forward for your session on Ikigai.
Yeah, next week I'm ready. I'll
Yes.
be next week.
Yes,
Yeah.
please. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much, Meena. Yes, friends. Anybody else? Thank you, Kamalaji.
Madhu, thank you so much for the wonderful session.
Thank you,
Actually,
Sapna.
when you were reading, I could go into a very deep state, and very beautifully said that always we should consider ourselves as an instrument while doing any kind of work. And what I have observed is when you are in that mood that you're an instrument and everything is happening through you, and
Mm,
you're open, the way you can help yourself and others
true.
is much better. Sometimes
Good.
when you're caught up in things like, okay, I have to do this or I have to do this,
Mm,
it's very different. And the moment you're totally submitting and being an instrument, and you just think that, just start with the thought that everything is flowing through you, everything changes.
yeah.
That's so beautifully said. And thank you so much for this reminder about time management and how precious time is.
Mm,
Um, it's been lingering in my mind of late that I should definitely try to utilize time even in a much more better way. And I've been hearing to Patriji's Telugu audio also, video
Yeah.
about this on PMC.
Mm.
So thank you so much. Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Swapna. Yes. So friends, I was just thinking, few weeks back, I was just thinking that, um, you know, uh, many people, many masters, they have shared about their experience of meditating early in the mornings at around 3:30, which is called Brahma Muhurtam. So wherein, like if you sit and meditate, there won't be any thoughts. So from past many years, I've been thinking, oh, I should do it. I should do it. I kept on postponing it. Though I have it in me that it's just how you put your choices. It's just how you make your choices. If you're so determined that come what may, I will get up every day at 3:30 in the morning. Even if I sleep at 1 o'clock in the night, I make sure that I get up at 3:30 in the morning and I meditate for 1 to 1.5 hours. When you make these right choices and you see the beauty of it, you have again, as Don John explains, the enemies. Here you are not falling into the prey of that of not doing, like not really doing something for yourself, though you have in it in yourself. So this is I feel very much happy doing this, because this is one of from many years I've been thinking of doing it, and I started really doing it, and I'm really really enjoying it. And we have so much time, and we can utilize our time in even reducing our sleep as well. There's so much to be done, and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah. And thanks again to Patriji and all the masters, wonderful masters. Prabodh always says that at that time meditating 3:30 in the morning is amazing. So yeah. So anybody else, friends? Anybody else wants to share anything more?
Hello, Madhu.
Hey Usha.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that thanks for the reminder. Yeah, time is precious, and once gone, it's not going to come back. And it's like what a hint of caution or warning. Like, okay, guys, wake up. It's your time now. Thank you,
Yeah.
and it's a wonderful reading, Madhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Usha.
how to conquer your fears and
Yeah.
and
It's
go
just
on and move on.
yeah. It's just I think it is all in the mind. The
Mhm.
moment you say you stand up and you say this, why I have
Mhm.
fear?
Mhm.
Let me
Yeah.
let me go
Yeah.
and see.
Mhm.
The few days back when Ram was asking me, will you be able to go in that dark street?
Mhm.
I said, I will not do it. But now
Mhm.
I really want to go, and I really want to face what will happen. What will I
Yeah, that's true.
experience?
What bad could happen? Nothing will happen.
Yes,
That's true. It's
it's
just the unknown tinge of fear which everybody does have, and which
exactly.
we are, yeah, just that one step. Yes.
Yeah. So
Wonderful, Madhu.
once you win over that, then any kind of fear that comes into your life, um, you will not get affected by it, because
Hmm.
you have conquered it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's true. And at the same time, it is also true that, yeah, if you are master, then somebody else will remind you, no, you're just one piece. There are many masters here. Yes,
yeah,
that's also
yeah.
true. It's all the words are kind of reminders, Madhu. Yeah, time management or fear or everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Usha. Yes, Madilaji.
Madhu, I
Hey,
love this. I love this. So I wanted to share my experience. When I was a resident long time ago, we were put on to do night call and everything on our own, right? We're just finished medical school, and so people, code, they heartbeat stops, and we have to go and try to save them. We all have fears, Madhu. I mean, with the fear, I think we have the fear, but we still have to go and do it anyway, despite the fear.
Mm.
So I used to take a breath and just go. I didn't know meditation then. I was searching. I think I shared many times. I was searching, I was reading. But the nurses used to tell me, Dr. Jakula, you're so calm when you
Right.
come at the head of the table and tell us, how do you do it? Because you're only first year resident. How do you do it? I don't know. I just, I think you had to face the fear and go do it. I don't know. And in my life, I think I learned from my father. It's not like I had it in me.
Mm-hmm.
My father would say, if anything, you get scared, you just, think that whatever is happening to you is happening for the best and you go do it anyway. So, and the other thing is, I know I shared for several times, I'm 57 now, Madhu. I don't know how I got here. I just don't know, in blink of an eye. And I don't feel it. I don't feel my age. I don't feel, but when I tell people my age, I just can't believe it myself. So I do believe the Ikigai because in my mind, it's just a number. I feel, I look, yeah, I mean, people everywhere think I look like I'm in my 30s. I don't know why I look
Wow.
this young, but I am that age, I am 57. And I came to terms with that, but that took some time. And the last thing I wanted to say was, anything we do in life, we have to find our own true purpose. Other people can't give that to us. And so getting up at 3 a.m, you mentioned, I always wanted to do that, Madhu. I always wanted to do that. But now it's just happening naturally. I'm actually automatically getting up at 3:30 and I'm messaging all of you. I message you sometimes, Madhu. I was messaging Sahir this morning and I meditate and it's such a beautiful time. And when I was younger, I could never get up at that time. I used to get up at 1 p.m. And I don't think it happens when you force it to happen. I think it naturally happens when it's supposed to happen because it's happening to me. I fall asleep by 8:30 and I get up at 3:30 and I get ready for work at 5:45 and I'm out the door by 6:30.
Wow.
So, and then, my day ends at 5:30, 6 p.m. But the time, I don't know, I find the time to be part of the Beam family, I'm in, like 20 groups, Madhu. I know you all don't know, and I'm also in the private physician group. So somehow the time comes,
Yes.
So I'm so happy you shared all this because I'm slowly experiencing myself.
Wonderful.
Not knowing why this is happening, but the Native Americans have really good insight. They have amazing insight. And they were wanderers long before nothing was written about them. But they always respected everything in nature and they always knew internally about our soul and our purpose in life. So I'm just happy you shared, Don Juan's story.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know why I just shared everything I just thought of my time in residency and, the life where it brought me and my age and, thinking everything. I just, that book is amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madhulaji. Thank you for sharing. It's very important that we all share and you have shared it very beautifully. And thanks once again. And thanks for being a great support of Beam family always. And we always love you. Thank you. And
I love you all back, Madhu, Ram, both of you, so much love. I don't know why I feel like you're the only group that I feel like sharing so much. And the time happens to share with the Beam family. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Madhulaji. Bye. Yes, friends. Anybody else? All right. So, friends, keep introspecting, and it's very important lessons. Don't waste your time. And though we are not old, don't don't fall prey to this mind oldness, like it's not age wise we are maybe young, but our mind, maybe when we think that we cannot do things, then we fall into the prey of old age, like don't give power to those kind of thoughts. You can do anything at any age. If you're young, you can do anything. If you're old, you can do anything. So it's all in the mind. And be clear in everything, and don't and give chance to others around you to have um, when you have the clarity, keep questioning again and again. Is it right? Is it right? Is it right? Am I right? Don't only just follow whatever is like coming. Like always have a question, and work on your fears. And when you have a power, even at home or at your work, just know how to use it, and when to use it, and when your power should be of support to everybody and also to yourself. When you're showing your power, it should give a satisfaction, a contentment, because you're not showing your power that I'm powerful. You're showing your power to do greater things in cooperation with many around you. So these are the important lessons, friends. Keep working on them, and it's not just one day or 1 week or 1 month or 1 year thing. It's like a continuous journey of learning all these things and facing all these things. So keep doing it. Never fall, never get defeated by all these enemies. So never abandon them, be with them, and just face them. Yeah. So till we see each other, friends, have a lovely day. And Ram says that he enjoyed the sharings, and so he's with my dear friend's daughter. I mean, like we are all in the same home, and the baby is sleeping on his legs, so that's why he couldn't start. He couldn't speak. So thanks, Ram. So thank you so much. All right, friends. Then we will all see each other again tomorrow at in the morning, 6 a.m. Germany time, and also 6 p.m. Germany time. Till then, have a lovely day and a lovely night, friends. Namaste to all. Bye bye.
Thank you all.